Like, that's not acceptable. Like, I don't want to find out with the post, like, a note on the other. I want to have a vendor that spent a lot of money from our budget to fix the elevator. I want to know now, and I shouldn't have to ask them to no answer. How much money have we put into it? Is it close to the cost of a new elevator? I mean, these are questions that I have, but we're not like kept up to date with any of this stuff. I understand there's projects we can't focus on. There's spreadsheets, right? There's like spreadsheets that you share with people. Like, these are the dates that we had service on the elevator, on the laundry machines. These are the things the fixed or spent money on, and you don't need to help with getting everything. Email out, but there are like notes. Take notes on a Google Doc, on a Google Sheet that could be shared with the entire community with a link. So you can go in and check in on these things. We have no idea how many times they've come out, what has been done, what still needs to be done. The roof of the elevator was fixed for months. There were leaks back and forth. We need to go on through it. It's like, now we finally have like a light up there. It looks up, but it looks disgusting. In the interim, where people are trying to sell properties, and we just look like a shit show with phones and the elevator and horrible paint jobs and but my point is, I was here prior to all of this, and again, I'm not like treating anyone's corner or anything, but I have seen it just go down. Like, I mean, just in 2 years, the first year I lived here, there was almost no problems with it that were consistent. In the last year, it's been like nonstop. It's like,
I've been here for 17 and almost 18 years, and we have never in 18 years had this much problems with elevators.
I mean, this is new to me. I've never had this issue. My first year living here versus the last year. There's a huge difference. Same thing with the laundry room. I don't know how many times it's taken you guys' money, but it's taken my money multiple times, and I have to contact the vendor or whatever because it's not working. I'm not saying we took the best laundry machines before, but at least these problems weren't like ongoing for weeks and months.
Did the vendor get back to you with the laundry?
No.
Which is, you know, this is another issue with the laundry. So you, the board, chose to hire or bring in a leasing company. Fine, whatever, that was your decision.
Yeah.
But now you're telling us, well, if you have an issue with the laundry machines, don't come to the management, don't come to the board, you got to call the wash company. So you're just taking another responsibility off you that you chose. You chose. Now it's our problem. It's not my problem. And I don't want it to be your problem. You should be able to go to the management. People have lost a lot of money in these machines. Call the wash company, and they're freeing themselves of that responsibility. Is that fair? That's not really fair, in my opinion.
Hey, Ray, I'd like to say something about that.
We're paying dues for a company to take care of this for us. I've had good luck with the laundry, so I can't complain about that. But I mean, it's a lot for me to be here right now because of my work schedule, and I'm sure it is for other people that are here. So, simple thing like that, that's something, what is she doing all day? She could pick up the freaking phone and call these people and sort out and get people's money back. That's what they should be doing. We shouldn't have to contact the laundry people.
Hey, Ray.
Who's cleaning my hallway? I have dirt like this on the steps coming down from the 3rd floor. My corridors and my steps are filthy. This has been ongoing
For years.
It's actually, believe it or not, we have 2 people here now, and it's worse now than it was before.
So there needs to be an ongoing list.
There needs to be accountability.
Yes, I am.
I think it's about accountability. There's nobody following anybody.
There's no accountability, and there's nobody checking the work.
There's nobody checking. Right.
When I first moved in here, and that was in October of 23, and I like Basil. I think he's a great guy.
He is a great
and he's
guy.
a hard worker.
He is.
And he was on my
Very
floor
much.
every week.
Yep,
On
me
the
too.
3rd floor. He was there every week. The floor was always
Since they came in,
clean.
not anymore.
Since the new board, weeks and weeks will go by. There's dirt and debris all over the steps, all over the floor.
He comes
What's up?
just to undo the laundry. Undo the garbage. I am right at the garbage. My door, I open my front door and there's the garbage chute. So I have to deal with people and stopping people trying to slam garbage down there and whatnot. So he's good about coming to do that. and if it's like that, I get a hold of them. But yeah, they have him going in all other directions, and
You know,
I'm sorry,
No, it's
Jimmy.
fine, fine.
I apologize.
We're gonna open it up in a second. I'm gonna wrap it up in like a minute, and then I'm gonna let Dennis
Go ahead,
go,
yes.
and then, you know, so, last couple things that so, basically, I just feel like the board needs to be responsive, transparent, financially responsible. Me, Ray, Dennis, Maureen, we have talked about this, we've met a lot, and unfortunately, that's just not what we have today. Like we mentioned, the list of priorities. My thing is like the list of priorities needs to be an accurate representation of what the people are looking for it to be a priority, not what the full members of the board have decided is a priority. Because I can sit with Ray and say the priority is whatever, like this one sidewalk, and none of you guys really care about the sidewalk, you might care about the laundry machines or whatever. You're electing us, so we need to represent your interests, and I don't think that's currently happening. I think the board has represented their own interests very well, and they've also handed off a lot of stuff for the management company doing, which is costing us upwards of $350. So yes, we have insurance going up, but we also are spending a lot of money on management that's not really used. So financial transparency, smart budgeting. My background is in that. I've worked in commercial and national accounts. So I work in intelligence and insights, and I've worked with large budgets for marketing. I've worked with sales teams. I was responsible for overseeing and optimizing trade show budgets for conventions. So I'm very good at just budget. I've also negotiated 3-year contracts and national accounts for pest control, which are 3 to 5-year contracts. I've been able to work with those key accounts and relationships with our customers and vendors. I'm also just very good at identifying opportunities for cost efficiency. That is something I'm good at in my personal life, in my work life, and just generally streamlining processes to make them super easy for everyone to use. So there's not, I understand that not everyone can create email or Zoom or whatever. There are some people here that can't. But being able to, simple things, the current management and board has done. Who are the list of people that do this? Who are the list of people that need email? Like, do we even know? Because there are some people who do this. So just like little things like that. But anyway, I don't think, again, the main thing is I don't think a board that ignores residents is acceptable. It's me that's extremely unacceptable just in general, but on top of that, because that's what's going on. So I want to establish multiple ways for residents to share their concerns, whether it's meetings, email, online portal. I think my big thing and where my strengths lie here is ensuring the vendors deliver quality work and negotiating better terms with the vendors we have. We cannot have bad relationships with our vendors. Like, again, not everybody, I know everybody has different opinions on Tony. He kept great relationships with vendors. He did. That was something that he did really, really well. And I think that we need to go back to being unchecked partners. We need to go back to making sure the work is done. He did well, and anything that's damaged, like the elevator floor, needs to be at their expense, not at ours, and it needs to be taken care of. They're just going to get a check, never come back. So that's what I'm running on, and I'm going to open up the floor to Dennis.
Unlike Jamie, I'm great at other people's lives, but my own is a disaster. So just don't look at my own, look at other people. I moved here in 2017, but I've been an owner for the last year. A bit about my background for the West Office. I'm admitted to the bar of North Carolina and the United States Supreme Court. I started off as a law clerk to the Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court and was the Assistant Attorney General for 9 years, where I've spent the last 25 years in corporate practice as an advisor of the legal counsel in hospitality. I have been on numerous boards over my years, and I actually have served as legal counsel to 2 national corporations, advising the board on their obligations, responsibilities, et cetera. In the last year, I kind of became more interested in things going on around us, and so I went to study that. I am actually a licensed Florida community manager. Community association manager. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to learn about this, and so I went through it. All that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my background. The reasons I'm running for the board, I sit there and I see on our budget sheet, I see this line item for like legal costs. I'm like, well, I should just be the lawyer for this place. It's more than I charge most of my clients. And I'm not saying that there aren't certain inevitable legal costs in any organization. But I can say that I would believe that my background would be a first resource for the board and the residents, instead of having to go seek all these legal opinions all the time. Sometimes there could be, obviously, things that need to go that far. And secondly, I've learned over the years, even when I don't represent my companies as their attorney, and we have outside legal actions, the ability of an outside counsel to talk to an inside attorney greatly reduces the time, greatly reduces the interaction, greatly speeds along the efficiency of it, and drastically lowers the cost. So while you're not necessarily representing people, but in North Carolina, we cannot represent the company we work for, so that people who serve that would be much like this situation. The second thing is, over the number of years I've been here, the number of times I've been told, well, the law is requiring this or the law is requiring that. Well, I've often disagreed, but that's up for debate. My disagreement over it is up for debate. But I can tell you that two things can often be true at the same time, and that many times what we were being told was true, but there were notable exceptions, notable options, notable ways that both of the things could have been true. I felt often that we were being told the law requires it as a suppression of the opposition to something rather than an actual discussion of what could be done.
Exactly.
So, and as a member of the bar, who, I work with lay people all the time, nothing is worse than talking down to people and telling them that the law requires this and acting like that they don't have, that their point is not valid. I always want to talk to people and say, listen, I understand your experience. That is your experience with it. I'm not trying to negate it. I'm not trying to call you a liar. I assume most people are telling me something's true. I mean, if you're lying to your lawyer, you're already in a bad situation. I mean, like, I only need one version, and that's the version of the truth, and we'll work from there. But if you're lying to your lawyer, you're wasting money because they can't help you if you're not telling the truth. Finally, we've had a lot of talk here about the current and the past, and I think we've articulated a lot about that. Well, what I want to see is a little bit more of a strategic forward thinking of where we are, where we want to be. As a community, this is a great place, but there are a lot of great places in Broward. But there are not a lot of great places in this area, in this desired area. And we need to leverage that as homeowners to protect our interests, to protect our property values. I'm not blaming the current board for the fact that there are currently 19 River Shores units on the MLS. I have never seen that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's been a lot.
That's a lot.
There's a calamity of reasons for it. I'm not alleging that. But a complete lack of strategic planning for that may be contributing to it. And as a group, we need to be more forward thinking. There is, to my knowledge, there is no use of committees at all at this place. And the committees are the best place for strategic long-term planning to occur, the best place for people to interact with each other, and the best place to get some people, if you're interested in landscaping, why aren't you on the landscaping committee? Why doesn't the landscaping committee talk about where they want to go, looking at options, and then reporting back in? These are just basic things that exist in most organizations that, to my knowledge, don't exist here. So I would say that if I were to sum up my candidacy, it would be that I do feel like I have some skill sets that would be valuable and some experience about looking forward. I'm so amazed by these people who understand everything that's happened here. I'm the person who just pays the bill when it comes, except for last December when I had no idea that we even had a bill. And next thing I know, I'm getting a late notice, and then I got a $30 fee for the letter to tell me that we were late.
That we were never supposed to get, and they're charging us money to mail it out. In open forum, they said, yeah, no late fees for this.
I think that as a collective group, we can surmise that there needs to be a different path forward.
Yes.
And that would be the reason that I felt like that I would be interested, and that, I don't like people telling people things to abuse them. I felt a bit abused, and I don't like that, and I don't like that for myself, and I don't like that for them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Ray, I didn't hear what what Jamie said? Ray, I did not hear what Jamie said.
Giving the floor back to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I want to echo what Dennis said. You know, a strategic plan is important. And one of the things that this slate of candidates did was we sat down and we went through each category, put together a 7-page document that identified things that we see that have opportunities for improvement. And we looked at finances, our capital improvement plans, put together a strategic plan to say what needs to be improved and how are we going to pay for it. There's going to be some very difficult decisions there, but a common theme between each of the candidates here is transparency and input. And we realize we're not going to make everybody happy and that there's going to be some very difficult decisions ahead because there are some major capital improvements that need to be made. But having said that, we need to go about it in a very strategic manner and financially fiscal to determine the best approach to pay for those improvements. We live in a great community, we need community input, and we need feedback to work towards a common goal. So we will continue until the election to work towards a strategic plan identifying areas of opportunity for improvement, collaboration, and methods for feedback and transparency. That's what this slate can offer this community. Everybody coming to the table has significant interest and value to contribute to this association. It is a very tiring job. I can tell you I've spent endless hours researching our ability to see official records. I have had to hire a lawyer to present castle management with the statute so that I could get access to our accounts receivable to see what's being done. I've looked at every single contract to figure out where opportunities can be made to cut back. And there are some opportunities. I mean, we brought up in our board meeting or our budget meeting was internet and cable, bulk internet and cable. That's $200,000 a year. Are there opportunities there? Are there improvements there? Are there services there? One of the things that was brought up in supplier or vendor management, our laundry. These things, like Ray said, they can come across as trivial, but they're indications of significant problems within the management. That supplier contract says that we're supposed to be getting revenue. If you look at your financial statements that are posted every month, that financial statement does not give you, in layman's terms, where we stand financially. It doesn't even show you the revenue that came in for the laundry. Why not? The answer was because that contract was set up for automatic deposits into our account. They got the checks, and Nicole has been sitting on those checks for 3 months. Why have they not been deposited? When I asked and pressed on why could we not funnel the complaints with the laundry through the office so that she could do supplier management and make sure that those contracts were being fulfilled, her answer was call the company and get a credit for whatever problems you're having with those machines. That's not good supplier management. If that's the way that they're addressing something, we might call it trivial with laundry, how are they managing those other contracts? And the list just goes on and on and on. For me to have to hire a lawyer to see official documents that are in the statute, she's supposed to be familiar with the statute. I know one of the hot buttons is our reimbursements from Middle River Club. If we read the bylaws, there's hard reimbursements that are in there. She just said arbitrarily what we're deciding to do is to give them the bill for $10,000 for the landscaping. And that's going to offset what they're supposed to be reimbursing us. Well, that's not what our bylaws state. Our bylaws state that there's a hard reimbursement there. So my point is that there's opportunity for improvement. I don't want to, as Ray said, blow at somebody else's candle and make mine look brighter. I don't want to pick apart things that are wrong, but I want to use those as opportunities for us to collaborate as individuals, people who share the same common interests in this property, and make it better. So with that, I want to open it up to the floor to try to hear feedback from the community and opportunities or questions that you have for any one of the individual candidates that are running for the board.
I'm going to try to do the digital echo, but.
Well, I'm going to have to run, but I wanted to say Maureen,